You feel that tension in the air, right? Rumors swirling, fingers pointing. Asante Samuel Sr. calling out the Dolphins for a lack of leadership. Let's cut through the noise and dig into what people are really saying and what it should mean for South Florida moving forward. Do you agree with Asante Samuel Sr. that the team lacks leadership? And then, who steps up? That's been the question digging at Dolphins fans for months. Samuel Sr. didn't mince his words. Miami needs direction, structure, perhaps a culture shakeup. But is he right? Let's roll through the fan feedback. LSC 20 and Olney laid it out. Team needs future leaders with a strong work ethic, real backbone, and zero tolerance for locker room poison. The kind of people who put team before ego. He doesn't want to hear about votes or popularity contests. If a player wears the C and quits on his brothers, that C should be yanked. No room for quitters or drama. Then comes Dolfanjo, brushing off the drama with a simple stance. Leaders will emerge on their own. Training camp will reveal the truth. Nothing to fix, nothing to overthink. Nature will take its course. Yarganaut took a different angle. Not every loud voice is a leader. Sometimes it's the calm, consistent presence that gets others to fall in line. He expects Jackson to step up for the offensive line, Siler to own the D-line, Minka to anchor the secondary. But the real curiosity was about Waddle. Can he own the receiver room, or will Hill's oversized presence swallow the space? And what about Tua? Can he be the spark, or is McDaniel just blowing smoke about his leadership? Dolphin and Emmy wasn't having any of that. F that. Tua's already shown leadership, called out an offensive lineman in the heat of the moment, and pulled him back into the huddle. That's what real leaders do. On the field, you see it. As for Ramsey, he was shown the door, and Minka came in. That's a statement. If you're not all in, you're out. Francesco Ita pointed everyone to a CBS piece that echoed what fans have been shouting for months. Nothing sugar-coated. Just cold, hard truth. A mirror held up to the franchise. Coach K-13 didn't bother with dissecting leadership. He's lived through decades of heartbreak. Just wants one more Super Bowl before he checks out. One more parade. Whoever leads, it doesn't matter. Just get it done. PHINS fan hit a nerve. If you're asking who the leaders are, maybe that's your answer right there. When you watch games and don't feel that presence, it means you're lacking it. Players like Ramsey were called leaders, but fell flat. Hill. Flashy, sure. Leader? That's questionable. TA had the right energy, but couldn't stay on the field. Christian Wilkins? Obvious leader. But beyond that, it's a haze. The team is in flux when it comes to leadership. The top feels vacant. Lefty 55555 pinned the blame on coaching. Said the problem starts with letting players dictate culture. Under Flores, players got fined, suspended, even traded for crossing the line. That set the tone. But now, the leash is loose. Talent outweighs discipline, and that's a dangerous game. His fix? Get rid of Tyreek. Yep, trade him. Because he'd rather lose with a unified team than win with guys pulling in different directions. Herbert Pollack sliced it another way. Leadership isn't missing, it's just not good. There's a difference. Anyone can step into a role. That doesn't mean they should be there. Slayer Nation 1 drove it home. No natural leaders on this roster. Not the kind who demand respect by just standing in the room. Sealer is the closest, but doesn't seem at ease carrying that load. Tua's the guy by position, not by fire. Minka is a captain, but again by default. The word that lingered? Default. Players falling into roles, just because someone has to do it. Then the twist. Slayer Nation said something chilling. That Asante Samuel Sr. might have pulled his comments straight from these forums. As if he wasn't speaking as an outsider, but echoing the fan base. And when Florio's essay calls out Ross as absentee, throwing around money without building a core. Yeah, that stings. Words like soft, spineless, rudderless, they've been said too often to ignore. So, do we agree with Asante Sr.? It's hard not to. Whether you love or hate how he said it, there's truth there. Something's off. Something's missing. This isn't just a team lacking big personalities. It's a team caught between who they think they are and who they actually are. There's no captain at the wheel, no loud heartbeat in the center of that locker room, and fans feel it. The candidates are on paper. Jackson, Seiler, Minka, Tua. There's hope in all of them. But hope doesn't guarantee growth. It doesn't assure presence. These guys need to own it. Not for the media, not for show. But inside those walls, when tensions rise and games are on the line.